6, 2011, Joey's dad drives them around. They're looking at some possible like campgrounds, to come back up and go camping at.
Yeah.
And the plan is they're going to drive around a little bit, and then he's going to drop the pair back off at the bus station to head on back to, Oregon.
Yeah.
So this is when the killing starts. So while Red is driving his Jeep, Holly's in the passenger seat, and Joey is sitting in the seat behind his dad. He pulls the gun out, shoots Red in the back of the head while Holly gained control of the car. They drove around for almost 30 minutes while this poor man suffered, waiting for him to die.
Jesus.
They said that he was moaning, and he obviously suffered.
Yeah.
Yeah. They eventually go back to the Pedersen's home. They have, his money, and they take some credit cards from his wallet. While they're at the house, they bind Dee Dee, the stepmom, with duct tape, and it's presumed that Holly was the one that killed her. She would later take this statement back that she did. She took 2 kitchen knives and slashed Dee Dee's throat, and they left her for dead. So apparently white supremacists believe that men should not kill women.
Oh, I've never heard that. Okay.
I don't know. It's, I don't know, some sort of weird moral code.
Sure.
And again, I mean, his dad was a child molester, supposedly, so he had to die. Just weird things. You're going to pick and choose what you're okay with and what you're not okay with.
Yeah.
So after murdering the Pedersens, Holly and Joey make their way back down to Springfield, Oregon, to meet back up with their trusty friends, the Wyatts. So this is actually who ended up giving him the first gun that he used to kill his dad.
Okay.
Red's body is still in the car this entire time.
Oh, shit.
Right. Can you imagine how that must smell? How do you drive a car that far?
He got pulled over. You know what I mean? Just...
No. He's sitting slumped in the front seat. Yeah. They drove the car off an embankment with the body in it to hide it, and then they used his and Dee Dee's cards to gather some supplies, like his, credit cards.
Yeah.
They head over to the Oregon coast for a 3-day camping trip. And this is when they come across Cody Myers. So on October 1st, 2011, Holly gets Myers to agree to give her a ride to California. When they get in the car, Joey jumps in the back real quick and, basically out of nowhere, he's armed with a gun. He forces Cody Myers to drive them back to their campsite. From there, they shoot him multiple times and they dump his body. Because of his last name, they assumed that he was Jewish. He was actually a devout Christian, not Jewish at all. They considered him a casualty of war and basically could have given a fuck. They take his car and whatever cash and cards he has on him, and they continue on. So the two are quickly identified as suspects, and it's released to, police entities are communicating interstate.
Yeah.
And saying be on the lookout.
And like an APB or...
Yeah, that's the word. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here for.
Thanks. So they decide that they need to get rid of Myers' car. And on October 4th, they hit up one of our favorite places, the Winco Foods grocery store in a little place called Eureka, California.
No way.
I'm not shitting you. So you and I lived in Eureka for many years.
Yeah.
I know that Winco pretty well.
Me too.
Yeah. Let me ask you, how common was it to see people hanging out there that were obviously drugged out?
Oh, that's normal.
Right. And how often would you say you were asked to give somebody a ride while shopping there? Somebody you know or don't know?
That's
Every
normal.
time.
Yeah.
Every time you went there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's just to add a little perspective. It wasn't uncommon for that. No. Like, you probably expected it. I mean, I knew if I saw somebody there, I was not going to say hi and make small talk because I didn't want to get asked for a ride.
Yeah.
I don't know. I swear there's something in Humboldt County where bumming rides is just, it's so common.
Yeah.
I hated that. So, I mean, again, a little perspective, which is probably why Reginald Clark thought, coming out of the store that day, he gets asked for a ride. He doesn't think anything of it.
Yeah.
So after several attempts to get someone to give her a ride, Holly finally gets Clark to agree in exchange for giving him gas money. Unfortunately for him, it doesn't turn out well. It's the same plan as before. Holly gets the ride, and then Joey comes out of nowhere with a weapon, and they get in the car. So Holly gets in the driver's seat, and while driving, Reginald is shot from behind in the head. And according to prosecutors' paperwork, Clark was eliminated because he was a potential witness, but also because he was African American and a quote-unquote Negro degenerate. I'm pretty sure Negro is not the word that they would have used, but of course I'm not going to say that word. And the publication that I was getting this from did not either. So I'm going to assume that they did not care to say, if they said that word.
Yeah.
Sadly, it's a waste because not only did they murder somebody who had nothing to do with what they were doing, but Clark's truck was only temporarily registered. Mm-hmm. So they decided to continue using Meyer's car to continue down to Sacramento and, finish their plan.
Yeah.
So they ended up killing this guy and not taking the truck because they thought it would be more suspicious for them to be driving a car that's not permanently registered.
Yeah.
So thankfully, this all abruptly comes to an end. A day later, the car is spotted by California Highway Patrol, and the two are taken into custody.
Oh.
Yeah. They didn't get very far.
I was going to say, wow.
No, after the parents were found, it escalated pretty quickly to try to find them. So I think there was maybe like a 10-day span.
Okay.
Yeah. So Holly was sentenced on July 15th, 2014 to life in prison with no parole. In exchange for the Washington state charges being dropped, she agreed to plead guilty and be extradited to Oregon to face federal charges. She is currently serving her term in a Texas federal prison.
Texas?
Yeah. Don't ask me. But
it's federal, yeah.
It's federal.
Texas.
She has said that she doesn't get to see her son much because she claims that her ex-husband is flaky and hard to get a hold of. No, bitch, you're crazy.
Yeah.
And if he was in Oregon, how do you expect him to get to Texas anytime you want to see your kid?
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah.
The nerve.
Your actions have caused this.
Right. So at her sentencing hearing, she apologized that her actions hurt people and didn't want to use her drug abuse or her poor childhood as an excuse to rationalize what she did. She admitted that her behavior was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
Family members of theirs, well, not of hers, of Joey's, got to confront her. It just sounds heartbreaking because all they could say was basically, we welcomed you into the family.
Yeah.
We didn't know you. You came up, out of nowhere, hadn't heard of you before, and we hugged you. We treated you like family, and you did this shit to our mom.
Yeah.
It's unreal.
Yeah.
However, her belief in white supremacy has never wavered. She's stated, quote, "My actions have further damaged the reputation of a movement misunderstood. I deeply regret this," end quote. She claims that she's prepared to die for her beliefs, and she hopes that her quote unquote sacrifice sends encouragement to other racists and supremacists. So, of course, I, given the chance, probably would beat the shit out of this woman.
Oh, yeah.
So
It'd be a waste of your time.
It would. And it doesn't prove anything. But just the fact that you don't see that because of your beliefs, you made these poor choices.
Yeah.
It's not because you were on drugs. It's not because you had a shitty childhood. It's because you have a fucked up way of looking at other people.
Yeah.
People who are good people who have not done anything to you personally. Your life was not fucked up by anybody else but you.
Yeah.
Your choices, what you've done as an adult. And if you think that's because somebody else with a different skin color got something more or better than you did, there's just so many things wrong with that. I have such a hard time with people like this.
Oh, yeah.
So something that I found odd was that Holly was charged with racketeering charges. That was her federal, that's why she went to Oregon and faced federal charges. They were racketeering charges.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I don't know.
So I looked up the definition, and murder, along with kidnapping, can be listed in the charges, but at the state level.
Okay.
She was sentenced at the federal level.
Yeah.
I don't really understand where the racketeering comes into place. I was thinking maybe because she was the one who was asking for rides. Like she was the one who was kind of like baiting the people.
Like maybe, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it didn't really make sense to me. So I really was trying to look at like any court documents or anything. And that's why I looked up the definition. It just seemed odd to me how you got to that verdict of being able to charge somebody with that. Because at the state level, you can charge murder and kidnapping. At the federal level, you cannot. I don't know. It was interesting. So then Joey, our friend Joey Pedersen, he pled guilty. He didn't even try to deny anything. Sentenced in a Washington court to 2 life terms for the murder of Red and Dee Dee Pedersen. He was later additionally sentenced to 2 counts of carjacking resulting in death in 2014. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes more sense. They should have charged her with that too, I feel like. Maybe because she didn't hold the weapon? They couldn't get her on that? I don't know.
They could have got her, like, killing, what was it, the mom?
The stepmom?
The stepmom.
I mean, but she later
But someone would have had
that.
to, well, yeah.
They were pretty sure that it was her. I mean, prosecutors had evidence that stated that. The thing is, none of this went to trial. It just was sentenced. They pled guilty.
Okay.
Yeah. So they didn't actually have to prove anything, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, after he was additionally sentenced with the 2 counts of carjacking in 2014, it was interesting because in exchange for agreeing to plead guilty to the 2 new charges, he made a deal with a couple of concessions. The first being a lessened sentence for his friends, the Wyatts, who gave him the gun, the original weapon used to kill his dad.
Yeah.
The second was a nice sit-down 3-course meal with his defense attorneys as a way to say thank you to them.
And they granted that?
Yeah.
The fuck?
It was said to be completely unprecedented. The jail staff was questioning why in the hell it happened. It's never fucking happened.
No.
One of his attorneys got to bring in like a MP3 player and speakers to have nice music. They had like salmon and a cheese board and dessert. Yeah.
That should have been his last meal.
Right. There is some talk that prosecutors had made some mistakes during his trial.
Oh, you think?
So, or, during his like sentencing.
Yeah.
Some of the evidence was not logged properly. And some of his legal correspondence had been opened by 2 members of jail, like the jail authorities.
He pled guilty, so I mean, it really doesn't. I mean, I get it, chain of evidence.
Right. So basically, what is assumed is that they didn't want to have to go through the process of his conviction being thrown out and having to go through it all over again. So they gave him a little incentive to cooperate with the new charges. He maintains that the system made him what he is and he feels no remorse for his actions.